How are Netflix lady? And I'm just going to answer this question, which is help. I've eaten something my baby will react to. What can I do? This is a course for breastfeeding parents. I have literally just been asked this question, and rather just respond directly and personally, I said, you know what? That's going to be a really good video for anybody who is breastfeeding, who knows that there are foods that you might eat that impact your baby, their reflux, their comfort, their sleep, etc. So what can you do in this situation? Indeed, is there anything that you can do? I mean, I remember going back many years ago, going out for lunch. I think it was the only time in about 2 years I went out for lunch because I realized that my daughter had a dairy allergy at the time. I asked for some beautiful green vegetables on the side of my dinner. I said, no butter, a bit of olive oil, bit of salt, that'd be fine. I remember eating them, and I was eating them going, these taste really good. Like, they tasted really good. And I was about 2 lumps of broccoli in, and I'm like, that's because they've got butter on them, isn't it? And I checked my husband and said, can you check they've got butter on them? And he's like, yeah, they got butter on them. I was like, no. I knew at 1 o'clock in the afternoon that I was in for a horrendous night. Now, it's not so bad for me at the time because she was my first. I didn't have any other children at home. However, if you do have other kids at home and you're already sleep deprived and you're already battling this and you're like, oh my goodness, I've just eaten a whole sandwich and I know that gluten really affects my daughter, what do you do? Jamie, I'm delighted that we've helped you so much. So happy for that. By the way, if we have helped you, please let us know. Please help us share the world. Share this information with the world. Get in touch. We're going to be opening up an affiliate scheme very soon. That's aside. However, what do you do? What do you do? So we're going to look at things. If it's a protein that you've eaten as an allergy, I'm afraid there's very little that we can do. We just have to breathe and know that this is short-lived. Actually, even the breathing bit is phenomenal. I'm going to forget that. Forget that I said there's not much you can do. You can breathe, okay? The breathing you're going to do is box breathing. This is going to boost your body's ability to break down the food that you have eaten. Because what happens is it's the food that you've eaten that doesn't get broken down sufficiently and then gets into your breast milk. And it's those big bits that are left over. That's what triggers the allergy intolerance response in your baby. So if we can do anything retrospectively, and I haven't tried this, so if any of you try these tips, please let me know. Do they work? Come back and let me know. We're going to breathe first. Breathing gets us out of the, oh, what have I just done? The fight and flight mode. That is our sympathetic nervous system going, I've just messed up. What am I going to do? And we're in panic and we're in worry and we're in fear and we're all these places. When we're in those places, our digestive system gets bugger all blood supply. It doesn't work very effectively. We got adrenaline and cortisol coursing through the body and lower levels of serotonin and melatonin and all the dopamine and the feel-good hormones. With the digestive system having less blood supply than it otherwise would do, it means that our absorption capabilities are depleted. The ability of our stomach to churn food even more is depleted. The ability of the messaging systems, hey Chelsea, the messaging systems to get the adequate digestive enzymes produced is depleted. So we're going to immediately, in less than 1 minute, switch from the sympathetic nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system. This, by the way, does not change what's happened. It just changes how our body functions on the endocrine level, on the hormone level, the actual physical stuff on the inside. So you can do box breathing. 1 minute. You're going to breathe in for a count of 4 through your nose. You're going to hold the breath at the top for a count of 4. Then we're going to release it through the mouth, through the nose for 4. And we're going to hold that for 4. Let's do it again. Do it with me. Hold. Release. Hold the exhale. Do it one more time. Hold the inhale. Exhale for 4. Hold the exhale. Now you can do this. The great thing about this breathing is the only thing you can't do is talk. So you can do it while you're bouncing your baby. You can do it while you're feeding your baby. You can do it while you're driving or when you're walking. You can do it anytime. This breathing technique switches you from the sympathetic nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system. It allows you to go and rather freak out that tonight is going to be the worst night of your life. It allows you to go, Okay, I've just eaten that. That's happened. There's not much I can do about it. We're going to have a little bit of, no, we're not going to because we can't predict the future. We may have a little bit of irritation stuff tonight. That's okay because we can deal with it because we know that in 24 to 48 hours, that will be gone and we'll be on a fresh start. Just being able to cope and remember that is hugely powerful. Equally, if you're in the state of, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done? Your body has higher adrenaline and cortisol levels coursing through. So any breast milk that your body produces will have higher levels of adrenaline and cortisol. And as a result, your baby's going to be going, I'm tired, but I want to sleep. I'm tired, but I want to sleep. I'm tired, but I want to sleep. Because they're going to be wired at the wrong time of the day. Being wide awake first thing in the morning is exactly where we want babies to be. Not 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. If you do night feeds and you've had this higher levels of adrenaline and cortisol throughout the day, then they'll feed or they'll go, I can't sleep. I'm tired. I really want to sleep. I'm tired. I really want to sleep. I'm tired. Is this making sense? We want to get into that calmer space so that you're managing your own body's levels of adrenaline, cortisol, melatonin, serotonin, and dopamine, and oxytocin, the other amazing one, which gets turned off if we're in a state of panic. All of those combined. So breathing alone is the first thing you can do. Really help. Then if it's a carbohydrate, like if it's a gluten or a complex carb that you've eaten or something that you know triggers your babies for intolerance, it's already done. So if you've chewed it a lot, if you follow the breastfeeding course and you already know to chew your food the most ridiculous amount, like even chew potato and leek soup, then that's brilliant. You will have mixed more salivary amylase with it. What we want to do is get as much as salivary amylase to digest those carbs into the stomach. So if you realize this shortly or in a few hours after eating the food, start just generating saliva and swallowing it. Take a drink of water, drink a tea. I've got coffee. That'll keep your babies awake, by the way. I don't recommend that for you guys. Swill it around your mouth to get saliva going. Put that into your stomach because the food you've eaten is in your stomach for somewhere between 3 and 5 hours to be digested. So if you can get more digestive enzymes in there, the salivary amylase doesn't work in the stomach. We don't want it in there for working on the stomach then. We want it with that food, mixed with that food when it comes into the small intestine, because this is where stomach acid gets neutralized and with bicarbonate soda, and 40% of the saliva that you swallowed, 40% of that amylase gets reactivated down here. That's what we're going to try and target, is boost your body's ability to digest those carbs when it is here. Because when it's here, it gets digested. And then as it moves along, that's when it starts to get absorbed. Hopefully this is making sense. So we want to do those two things, breathing and generating saliva. Okay. For the rest of the day, make sure you chew lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of your food. But even just play with your tongue, swallow the saliva. All of that while the food is in there is going to increase, it's going to provide more salivary amylase than otherwise would be there to digest those carbohydrates. So hopefully this has been helpful. Please let me know. Jamie, I'm delighted. Jamie is telling me on Instagram, the best tip that she loved was when I said, adopt your baby's symptoms as your own. It puts it all into perspective. This is one I do a lot. It's like, if your baby, if you don't know what to do, if you think things are normal, people are telling you that reflux is normal, this advice, take on your baby's symptoms as your own. Okay. Throwing up, like, would I be happy to excuse myself to throw up my cup of coffee in 10 minutes time? Absolutely not a hope. I like my coffee. I like to keep it in. Would I be happy with hiccups 7 times a day? And I mean, I know they're more painful for me than they are for an infant, but hell, I don't want hiccups 7 times a day. In fact, an ex-boyfriend of mine had hiccups all the time. He used to get them and they would last for 3 days. And actually what happened, he resolved them when he went to Chinese medicine and understood the underlying cause in the first place and addressed that. Got rid of them completely. It was like magic. I didn't understand these things at the time. It was like, oh, that's just like woo-woo, but it wasn't woo-woo. It was acupuncture. I trained and I know. So thank you very much. Please let me know if these things help, if these tips help. Please share them into any group. These are on Facebook. These are on YouTube. These are on Instagram. These are on my Facebook, on my webpage. All so that we can get this information out free to people. Now, if you are breastfeeding, if you do understand, if you know that there's some things that are irritating your child, you're not sure what they are, but you're pretty sure, darn sure it's food you're eating, then we've got the breastfeeding masterclass, which if you're on Instagram, you'll find links in our bio. I will put a link below in the comments on YouTube. We'll put a link in the video description on Facebook so that you can go and have a look. The breastfeeding masterclass is walking you through how to understand what you can eat, why the Dr. Sears total elimination diet doesn't work and give consistent results, why just cutting out dairy doesn't often give results. And if you do cut out dairy, make sure you cut out beef and soy as well. Otherwise, you're not going to see if it's actually a trigger or not. The whole process of understanding the infant digestive maturity first, taking that in first, and then going forwards with that. If any of my work, my courses, my free information, my freebies, anything that we do has ever helped you, then please let me know, either in the comments here or ping us an email. We love to know, and we love to celebrate the magical changes that happen. We've got one more question that's just seeking it, just I was going to lag off, saying we're going to the chiropractor today, completely unrelated to this, by the way, but I'll answer it nevertheless. We're going to the chiropractor today. What can I ask to determine if we need chiropractic treatment? How long is a piece of string? I know that's the last thing that you need. Body work really is about rebalancing the body. Chiropractic and osteopathy and Bowen therapy are all phenomenal, but we need to make sure they're addressing the underlying cause. If, for example, a baby's been delivered by ventouse or forceps delivery, that may, not always guaranteed, but may have caused imbalances in the head that are wrapping around the skull. The workshop is where you'll get the answers of exactly what to do and why, if you want to understand that. And I'll put a link to that below as well. Other than that, I'm going to love you people and leave you. And I'll be back again. By the way, get onto my emailing list if you want updates and pings and maybe even Telegram notifications on your phone that you don't have to go into social media for, to let you know when I'm about to go live. Then get onto our Telegram channel. I'll pop a link to that below as well. Come join us.